Hello everybody, and thank you guys for joining me for another video today. I am Living History of Militaria, and today I'm going to bundle this as a grouping video / new additions just because there's so much to go over. I also have another item that is not related to this grouping, but is also a local veterans item, so I'm going to save that for last because I'm going to go over this stuff right now. All this stuff belongs to a local veteran who fought in World War II. His name is David E. Coyle. All this stuff was his. I'll go ahead and put the zoom back on. David E. Coyle, and you can see his serial number right here, 320-32067. He was born on June 30th, 1916, and passed away on October 10th, 2011. He was 95. And we got some of his stuff here. I got all this from another local guy, who is also a collector, and he had posted, I had seen this helmet liner. I've been looking for helmet liners to fill all my World War II shells. Came across this one. This one is a Westinghouse. You can't really see the stamp. It was really hard for me to find because it's kind of faintly stamped in there. The chin strap is broken, and it's kind of like set in this shape. Like it's kind of crumbly, but that's okay. I'm not really looking for anything that's too intact, just something to put in there. The inside rivets are a little grimy, but it does have the cool officer's bars here on the front. Paint's chipped a little bit. It's a little flaky. It's not too bad. Overall, it's in a little rough shape. Most of the paint on the outside scraped away. Rivets are kind of cruddy, but I paid $50 for this, and he also said that he had a bunch of other stuff that was named to the same person. He said, if you're interested, shoot me a message, we can work out a deal. And he made a very generous offer of $60 for everything else that's on here, and I said absolutely. Which goes to show it definitely helps to make good relationships with other traders that are out there, other collectors, and having a network of people that will keep an eye out for stuff for you or are willing to make deals with you is a really rewarding thing. So I'm very appreciative of all the other people that have, kept an eye out for me and have made really good deals. Right here, got a U.S. World War II first aid pouch. The corners have been stitched back up. Faintly stamped on the front, but still works. Button's fine. Nothing inside. On the back, I can't exactly make out the maker's name, and the date is underneath this seam up here in the stitching. I got all these were bought right from David E. Coyle's estate here. He was actually born in Weedsport, a couple of towns over from me, and he was the mayor for 18 years and the town supervisor for an additional 17. He was in the fire department for over 20 plus years and helped implement the first sewage systems in Weedsport, built municipal buildings, high schools, middle schools, the St. Joseph's Church that's over there, and even gave a speech at the opening of the I-90 thruway exit over there back when that opened up. And he enlisted on March 4th, 1941 with warrant officers. Got some overseas caps right here. C2067. The blue and gold here for the Army Air Corps. There's a second one, size 7.5. Originally, the duffel bag wasn't included, but when I had showed up to pick up all these items and make the exchange, he was like, "Oh, I found the duffel bag." So I can't remember if this is dated or not, but it has this lovely print on here, as well as U.S. stamped right here. Also have what I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is a M1907 M1 Grand Sling. little bit of oxidization going on, some nasty stuff. I'll get rid of those, but the leather is still in great shape, still strong, still soft. That's pretty cool. I don't have an M1 Garand, but now I have a sling, so one thing at a time. I also got his 1911 holster here. You can see where the US oval is up here. And it looks like there was some sort of stamp or maybe a brooch, pin, something like that. Something maybe along the lines of this right here, the globe and anchor. Maybe he had something on there. But he did carve his initials in the side here. DE Coyle 320-32067. Really cool. Couldn't find a manufacturer or a date on this, but cool that it's got the carving in there. Also got some web gear, some belts here. This one I'm assuming is from Vietnam era. I couldn't find a date on this one, but it's got the US stamped right there. I'm not sure if he served in Vietnam. Right here, this is a 1941 US khaki belt. It also has, it's got, looks like DR, maybe? 6671. It looks like what's printed on there. And then the date is printed right above the button. The camera and this lighting gives it absolutely no justice at all. It looks like a bunch of scribble, but I was able to see it in some light and can confirm it's a 1941. And this one right here, I'm pretty sure is a reproduction. Don't think this has any stamps, any markings, but it does have a tag up here. It's a size, I think, 40 right there, and then it says made in Japan underneath it. So pretty sure it's a reproduction. And we got a couple of bags too. This one here has got his name printed on it right here, DE Coyle. This isn't a military issue bag. This one is actually made by Swank. Both of these bags are actually made by Swank, which I'm pretty sure is a fashion company. But back in the day, made different types of bags and stuff like that, like a lot of manufacturers did towards the war effort. So it's got buttons on the top, of buttons and everything, and here's the inside. And then we got this one right here, which is, I'm not sure, honestly. But there's the tag, Swank. If you open it up, I'm not sure if this was like fishing equipment or medical equipment or tools of some sort. There's a whole bunch of different size pouches and stuff, and then this flaps over the top, and it's got a shoulder sling, so I'm assuming he used it to carry something. So I thought that was really cool, though, just to have all this stuff. I'm working on sorting some of my items out now. I'm starting to become more focused on named gear and more local veteran gear than, just the average everyday stuff that you can find. So I'm starting to get a little more specific with stuff. So I'm going to be thinning out my collection too, I think, in a little bit. Plus, I want to expand this, which is what I like to call my hometown hero wall. This is all either family or Syracuse or Central New York veteran related stuff. So I want to be able to put like actual items and stuff up and not just like papers and pictures and stuff like that. So, but we have one more awesome piece to go over, so let's switch over to that. What I have here is my newest World War II surplus firearm. This is a really special piece. This came from a friend of mine whose grandfather had served in a tank destroyer battalion during World War II. Landed on Omaha Beach the day after D-Day, and he fought in Italy and Sicily and whatnot. And I'm not sure if it was the grandfather's brother-in-law or a friend of the grandfather, but he had fought in the Pacific. And this is a bringback. This right here, some people might be guessing is a Type 38 Arisaka. This is a variation. This is called a Type I rifle, or the Type I Arisaka. This is a Lend-Lease from Italy. These were made in 1938 by Italy. The Axis powers had made an agreement to kind of help each other out with production and manufacturing. And while Japan was fighting China before the official start of World War II, they needed rifles. And the Imperial Navy had put in a contract for rifles to be made. So there's a couple differences with this and the Type 38 Arisaka. There's about a bunch of small minor details. Basically, the big one, though, is the action right here, is the action of the Italian Carcano rifle, and not the closed Mauser action that the Type 38 and the Type 99 would use. The action is still really smooth. This thing is in, almost mint condition. It was given to my friend when years and years ago, as like maybe a teenager. He said he had never fired it, but the firing pin still works. This is chambered for 6.5 by 50. I'll show you the leather sling here too. It has some original Japanese characters painted on the leather sling. I have no idea what these mean. He had some Japanese family that had lived close to him. He tried to have them translate, but apparently they had mentioned something about one of these meaning Water City. But they said the text was really, really old, and they couldn't really decipher some of it. And it's also a little faded, a little chipped, but it's still an amazing piece right here. And you can see the split right here is the usual split for an Arisaka rifle. Split on both sides so they could use smaller pieces of wood, and this is pinned up into the stock so they could use smaller pieces, save a little bit on costs. It has anti-aircraft sights though, flip-ups, which still work. So if you are looking down the sights, this is what you're looking at. There's also, this was made by FNA Brescia, I think is the name. There's the FNA right there on the bolt handle. It has a 5-round internal magazine. There's the magazine release right here. And then this whole thing, boop, pops right open. Opens up the receiver. The wood is in awesome shape. There's like no scratches, no dings, nothing. Original finish. Everything on this is original as far as I can tell. I am no expert in foreign rifles. I'm no expert in rifles in general, but from what I have done for research, there is the production number H6904. These, unlike all the other Japanese and Imperial Japanese service rifles, does not have the chrysanthemum here on the receiver. Does not have any arsenal inscriptions. Does not have a serial number down here. The only markings you will find on the Type I are a 1-letter prefix followed by 4 numbers. 4 or even 5 numbers. I think there was about between 60 and 120,000 of these Type I rifles produced. And Beretta, I think, made some. FNA Brescia made some, and then I think there was another contractor that made some. But I paid $250 for this. My friend is working on getting his pistol permit, so he said he needs to save up for a handgun. So I told him $250 I think is more than fair. I'm probably not going to shoot it, but the sentimental value, with just a beautiful looking rifle, I think is going to display very nicely. I really would like to get a rifle rack so I can hang this up, put a bayonet on it, because the bayonets will fit on this. The Type 99 bayonets will work on this, and the Type 38s. But I'd like to get like a rifle rack to display this. So this and my other 3 surplus rifles. This makes number 4. But I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Love hearing from you guys, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. I am Living History Militaria, and we'll see you in the next one.